Welcome to SpaceX. Today, the watch I'm bringing you is one that I believe is well known to everyone. For many watch friends, he is like a popular lover, and we all have him. But we never truly owned it. Now it is September 2024, and there are two watches in front of us. One is the latest mainstream version C from China, and the other is a used genetic original version. I hope today's review can give you the latest information about the Green Submariner and help you make a better choice. Before we dive in, let me share some lesser-known information. The official original version has produced some classic watches, and over the years, through various iterations, there have been subtle changes in details during different periods. We name these different versions as Mark I, Mark II, and so on. Taking the Black Submariner as an example, we can see some subtle differences in the fonts between them. So, it's quite normal for there to be some subtle differences between the original versions. 16610 Green Submariner. Its development and evolution in China has gone through about 20 years. It has reached a peak state of refinement. To uncover the differences between the two, we really need to put in some effort. First, let's talk about the color of the bezel. The unique texture of the green ceramic bezel shows different variations under different lighting. When we observe with the naked eye, it's really hard to distinguish the differences between the two. The Night Pearl C version on the ceramic outer ring is greener in the middle and whiter at the edges, while the original jean version is a full and round green overall. At the same proportions, the engravings on the C version are thicker and generally lighter. The original version, due to being worn, has engravings that are more grey from the sandblasting, but the depth is clear, and the day marking doesn't show any obvious differences between the two. In the dynamic multi-angle comparison of the colors, no obvious differences can be found. This depends on the color calibration and the craftsmanship of the radiating patterns. The small letters at the 6 o'clock position on the C version are slightly bolder, but as we mentioned before, this cannot be used as a standard for determining authenticity. After careful comparison of the internal engravings on the case, we found no obvious differences in the letters and the crown logo, but the numerical codes show significant variations. When it comes to the hands, the hour, minute, and second hands look identical from the front. The axis of the C version is slightly larger, and when viewed from the side, the C version has a slight roughness to it, while the original version is very smooth. They are smoother and have a clear reflection. Both watches are made of 904 stainless steel, and there are no differences in size specifications or other data. The strap of the jean version is slightly lighter because it has 2 fewer links. The handle is a point that is used a lot by everyone but rarely paid attention to, whether it is the thickness of the rubber ring or the change of the thread. The 3-dimensional fullness of the logo is good. The laser anti-counterfeiting mark on the mirror surface is clearer and deeper in the original version, while the C version is relatively blurred. From the side, the height of the calendar magnifying glass and the height of the sapphire mirror are very similar. Secondly, the height and size of the outer ring of night pearls are also very close. The wire drawing process of the 904 cylinder is such that there is no difference between the two in terms of size and specifications. There's another detail that's easy to overlook but is very important, and that's the sense of spacing at various positions. This includes the gap between the bezel and the case. The gap between the crown and the case, as well as the height differences in the crown structure, show no differences. They can be interchanged. The groove of the safety clasp on the outside of the buckle is relatively larger on the jean version compared to the C version. The safety buckle and the crown on top are no different between the two. The engraving on the buckle is also a very important basis for us to distinguish the authenticity. However, the current mature production process, whether it is the frosted quality and structure inside the watch frame, the overall depth of the lettering and the thickness of the lines make it really difficult to find a clear difference between the two. What about the engravings on the inside of the crown? The C version features a double line engraving with an etching technique, while the original has a single deeper engraving. The engravings on the case back are also a bit deeper on the jean version. The thick case back is quite straightforward, and there are no obvious differences visible. Even though it's a solid case watch movement, it's something that many quality-conscious enthusiasts care about. We've also prepared a detailed comparison for everyone. The C version uses the Dandong 3135 gene, while the original version uses the Caldiana 3135. Although the Dandong 3135 has been praised by many watchmakers as the closest to the gene. Overall, there are still noticeable flaws in the detail quality that can be detected. A clear difference is in the color of the rubies, in the escapement, and the blue hairspring. The color of some gears, the depth of the engravings, and the effect of the gold plating also vary slightly. The texture of the deck shows a noticeable difference in delicacy. The polishing of the screws and the size of the fish scale patterns, as well as the engravings, also differ. What about the differences in details like these? In fact, you can find many if you observe carefully. I won't list them all here. We rarely see any noticeable differences in the luminous effect, which also indicates that the technical barrier for reproducing the luminous effect isn't very high. Maybe after watching this video you're curious if the price of the C version will impress you, but I still hope that friends who prefer the original version will stay sharp and avoid being deceived. Feel free to follow us. If you have more questions, you can leave a comment. I'll give you more help and guidance. See you next time.